My friend, you think poor people stay poor because they do not have enough money. That is a lie. Many people do not have a money problem first. They have a habit problem. They have a truth problem. They watch rich people. They copy rich words. But they never build rich actions. In this video, you will practice English and face life. Stay until the end, and you'll see why some people can touch wealth and still lose it with their own hands. Welcome to English Story Studio. Here, you train your English and you train your mind. Calm voice, hard truth. Maybe you feel stuck now. Maybe you study, you watch, you plan, and still your life does not move. That pain is real. But the answer is also real. Your daily actions build your future. Your small habits build your salary, your debt, your peace, and your shame. Today, we will walk through 8 things poor people do every day. First, they watch and never do. Then they wait for the perfect time. Then we will face a hard twist about $1 million. After that, we will talk about buying things to impress people, staying close to complainers, refusing to read, acting like a victim, and choosing comfort over growth. We will go in order. Slow, clear, honest. Let us begin with the first habit, watching, never doing. This is a silent trap, a very modern trap. You open your phone. You watch a video about money. You watch a podcast about business. You save 10 posts about discipline. You learned 5 new ideas in 1 hour. You feel smart. You feel busy. You feel inspired, but you do nothing. That is the truth. And truth matters more than emotion. Many people love the feeling of progress more than real progress. They love the image of change. They love the sound of change. They love the dream of change. But they do not love the boring act of change. A poor mindset consumes. A strong mindset produces. Jake is 26. He lives in a small apartment in Ohio. Every night he watches videos about building wealth. He knows words like assets, passive income, cash flow, and discipline. He can talk for 1 hour about what rich people do. But his own room is messy. His budget is not clear. His bank account is weak. He says he wants to start a side job. He says he wants to improve his English. He says he wants to get fit. But every day, he only watches. This is a lie. I am learning, so I am moving. No, my friend. Learning is not moving if your hands stay still. Reading about push-ups is not a strong body. Watching cooking videos is not dinner. Listening to business content is not business. And hearing English is not enough if your mouth stays closed. Stop. Be honest. How many hours did you spend this week watching people win? How many minutes did you spend building your own win? Check your screen time. Check your notes. Check your output. What did you make? What did you finish? What did you send? What did you practice? This question hurts because it is concrete. Poor thinking hates concrete truth. So what should you do? First, cut your input, not to 0. But cut it. 1 lesson, 1 video, 1 page. Then stop. Then use your body. Write 1 paragraph. Speak for 5 minutes. Make 1 budget. Send 1 email. Sell 1 small thing. Apply for 1 job. Do 1 real action before the next video. Finally, measure output, not mood. At night, do not ask, did I feel motivated? Ask, what did I build today? That is how a person changes. Not with more content, with more action. And yes, content can help. This video can help. But only if you turn sound into action. Only if you make truth physical. Now we move to the second habit, waiting for the perfect time. This habit looks wise. It sounds careful. It wears clean clothes. But inside, it is fear, people say. I will start when I have more time. I will start next month. I will start when I feel ready. I will start when I have better English. I will start when the market is better. I will start after one more course. No, tomorrow is the favorite home of weak decisions. The perfect time is a beautiful lie. Life does not become clean and open just because you want it to. There is always noise. There is always risk. There is always some reason to wait. Emma wanted to start a small online store. She spent 6 months planning the logo, the colors, the name, and the perfect first post. She watched videos. She wrote ideas. She changed her mind again and again. She told her friends, I am preparing. But she was not preparing. She was hiding. Another woman, Olivia, started with a simple page, 2 basic product photos, and many mistakes. Her English was not perfect. Her design was not perfect. Her confidence was not perfect. But of 3 months, she had real customers, real lessons, and real growth. One woman protected her ego. One woman built skill. This is the law. Action teaches faster than waiting. Poor people often think preparation will save them. Strong people know preparation has limits. At some point, you must enter the fight. At some point, you must look stupid. At some point, you must begin before you feel ready. Because readiness is not where you start. Readiness is what grows after you start. Stop. Be honest. What are you calling preparation right now? Is it study or is it delay? Open your notes. Open your drafts. Open your plans. How long have they been sitting there? 7 days? 30 days? 1 year? Look at the date. Truth has a date. Here is the simple way forward. First, make the task smaller. Do not say, I will change my life. Say, I will work for 20 minutes today. Then choose an ugly first step. Ugly is good. Ugly means real. Publish the simple post. Read the first 10 pages. Record the first bad English voice note. Apply for the first job. Finally, kill the phrase one day. Replace it with a day on the calendar. A real day. A real hour. A real action. That is how you break delay. And now we reach a hard truth. Maybe the hardest truth in this first part. You think money will save you. You think a bigger salary will fix your life. You think a rich wallet will create a rich mind. That is a lie. If I gave you $1 million right now, many of you would lose it within 1 year. Not because you are stupid, because your habits are stronger than your gift, because a poor mindset destroys what a rich pocket receives. We will go deeper into that truth next. A rich wallet cannot protect a poor mind for long. That is where we continue, my friend. Think about that $1 million again. Many people say, if I had money, all my problems would end. It sounds logical. It feels true. But many things feel true and are still lies. Money does not remove your habits. Money reveals them. If you do not control desire, more money gives desire more power. If you do not control ego, more money makes ego louder. If you do not understand discipline, more money only lets you make bigger mistakes. Ryan grew up with very little. He always said, I am broke because I never had a chance. One day after a family legal case, he received a very large amount of money. Not 1 million, but enough to change his life. Enough to remove debt. Enough to buy time. Enough to build something. For 3 months, he felt like a king. He bought a car he did not need. He paid for dinners for people who never cared about him. He moved into a more expensive place because he wanted the feeling of success. He bought clothes with logos. He bought gifts to hear people say, wow. He called it enjoying life. He called it finally living. But the truth was darker. He had no budget. He had no plan. He had no rule for spending. He had no rule for investing. He had no rule for saying no. So the money left, not in one big disaster, in 100 emotional decisions. That is how poor thinking works. It leaks. It leaks through pride. It leaks through comfort. It leaks through the need to be seen. A person with a poor mindset thinks money is for showing. A person with a strong mindset knows money is for building. That is the difference. The poor mind says, "What can this buy me today?" The strong mind says, "What can this build for me tomorrow?" And here's the hard truth many people hate. Income alone does not make you wealthy. Some people earn more and stay trapped. Some people earn less and still build peace. Why? Because wealth is not only what enters your hand. Wealth is what stays. Wealth is what grows. Wealth is what works when you are tired. Assets matter. Rules matter. Delay matters. Silence matters. If you get more money before you get better habits, you do not become free. You become dangerous to yourself. Stop. Be honest. If a large amount of cash entered your account tonight, what would happen first? Would you breathe and think? Or would you run to spend? Would you pay debt? Or would you chase status? Would you build an emergency fund? Or would you buy a new version of yourself for strangers to look at? Check your last 5 non-essential purchases. They tell the truth. Look at them. Why did you buy them? Need or feeling? Use or image? This is not about shame. This is about seeing clearly. If you want to become stronger with money, the path is simple, but not easy. First, build rules before you build lifestyle. Decide now what percentage goes to saving, to debt, to learning, to basic life, to joy. Small numbers are fine. Clear numbers are better than emotional numbers. Then practice holding money without touching it. This sounds small, but it is powerful. Can you let cash sit? Can you let your salary rest? Can you stop acting like every dollar is a command to buy something? Finally, learn the difference between ownership and appearance. Many people want to look rich. Very few want to live rich. Looking rich is loud. Living rich is often quiet. Quiet wins. Now this brings us to the next daily habit, and this one is everywhere. Buying liabilities to impress. This is one of the cleanest signs of a poor mindset. A person buys something that takes money away every month, but they treat it like success. They call debt style. They call pressure confidence. They call monthly payments normal. A new phone on credit. A car that eats half the salary. Designer clothes for one night of attention. A luxury object for a poor life. My friend, this is not wealth. This is a costume. A liability is something that keeps taking from you. It takes cash. It takes peace. It takes choices. But poor thinking often loves liabilities because liabilities can be seen. They shine. They make noise. They create a fast picture. Assets are slower. Assets are quieter. Assets are often boring in the beginning. A skill is an asset. Good English is an asset. Good English is an asset. Good health is an asset. Savings are an asset. A simple tool that helps you work is an asset. A small business can become an asset. A strong reputation can become an asset. But people with weak discipline often choose the shiny drain over the quiet builder. Why? Because they want respect without process. Marcus had an old phone that worked well. The battery was fine. The camera was enough. His income was average. His savings were small. He still lived with pressure each month. But a new phone came out. Everyone online talked about it. He saw people holding it, smiling, posting, performing a life of ease. He told himself, "I deserve it." That sentence is dangerous when it has no truth under it. So he bought it on installment. Small monthly payments, he said. No problem, he said. But soon those small payments joined other small payments. Subscription here. Delivery there. Shoes. Nights out. Then stress. Then excuses. He did not buy a phone. He bought less freedom. That is what many people do every day. They trade freedom for image. They trade tomorrow for applause today. Poor thinking says, people need to see I am doing well. Strong thinking says, I need to actually do well. These are not the same life, and social media makes this trap stronger. You see a nice car. You see a trip. You see a watch. You see a clean table in a bright cafe. You do not see the debt. You do not see the anxiety. You do not see the fight at home. You do not see the empty savings account. You do not see the person checking their banking app in fear. A beautiful image can hide a weak life. So ask the real question. Not, can I buy this? That is a weak question. Many people can buy things they cannot truly afford. Ask, what will this cost my future? Ask, will this return value or only attention? Ask, does this increase cash flow or reduce it? Ask, am I buying use or am I buying identity? Stop. Be honest. Look around your room. How many things there were bought to solve loneliness, insecurity, boredom, or comparison? How many things were bought to impress people who do not help you? Check your debt. Check your monthly payments. What part of your salary is already dead before you even begin the month? That number matters. Now let us make this practical. First, delay all image purchases. Wait 7 days. Not food, not medicine, not true need. Only image purchases, things bought to be seen. Most of the desire will cool down. Desire is loud, but often short. Then separate tools from toys. A laptop for work can be a tool. A course can be a tool. A better chair for long study can be a tool. But buying the latest object only because it is new is usually a toy for the ego. Finally, build private pride. This is rare. Be proud of what nobody sees. Be proud of no debt. Be proud of savings. Be proud of saying no. Be proud of using the same phone for 1 more year. Be proud of control. Control is beautiful. Control is rich. And here's something many people never learn. The person who needs to look rich is often the one least ready to become rich. Because real building needs patience. It needs silence. It needs the ability to disappoint the crowd and protect the future. Nobody claps when you avoid a stupid purchase. Nobody claps when you stay home and learn. Nobody claps when you pay debt. Nobody claps when you build slowly. But your future will. In the next part, we move from things to people. That is where many lives get stronger or weaker. Because your circle is not a small detail. Your circle is a direction. Your circle is a direction, my friend. That is the truth we start with now. Many people want a better life, but they keep sitting in the same weak room. They keep giving their ears, their time, and their energy to people who complain every day. Then they act surprised when their own mind becomes heavy. This is the next habit. Hanging out with complainers. You become normal to what you hear often. If you hear excuses every day, excuses start to sound wise. If you hear blame every day, blame starts to feel honest. If you hear hopeless talk every day, hope begins to look childish. That is how a poor mindset spreads. Quietly, socially, daily. A complainer is not just someone who has pain. Pain is human. We all have pain. A complainer is someone who protects pain, feeds pain, and repeats pain, but does not move. They talk more than they act. They explain more than they build. They are experts in why nothing works. And after enough time, you start doing the same. Chris worked with 4 men who complained all day. The boss was stupid. The pay was unfair. The economy was broken. Successful people were lucky. Learning new skills was pointless. Every lunch break was a meeting of weakness. At first, Chris only listened. He laughed a little. He said nothing. Then he started joining in. Soon he was using the same words, the same tone, the same tired face. He went home with less energy, not because the work changed, but because his mind changed. Complaint became his daily language, and language shapes identity. Then one small thing happened. A training program opened at his company. It was free. It could help him move up. But he did not apply. Why? Because the voices around him were stronger than his future. They said, it won't matter. They said, these things are fake. They said, people like us never get picked. So he stayed the same. That is what complainers steal from you. Not only peace, not only joy. They steal action before it begins. Poor people often think influence is only for children. That is a lie. Adults are also shaped by the room. The people around you affect your standards, your language, your risk, your patience, your money habits, your courage. If your friends laugh at reading, you will read less. If your friends mock discipline, you will hide your discipline. If your friends spend money to feel big, you will feel pressure to do the same. If your friends hate growth, your growth will feel lonely. And many people choose comfort over truth. They stay in weak circles because weak circles are familiar. Familiar feels safe. But familiar can also keep you poor. Now listen carefully. This does not mean you must hate people. It does not mean you must act proud. It does not mean you leave everyone the moment they struggle. Real friendship has mercy. Real friendship has patience. But you must learn one serious skill. You can love people without letting them lead your mind. That matters. You do not need perfect friends. You need honest direction. You need people who can face reality. People who say, yes, life is hard. Now what? People who do not only describe the fire but bring water. Stop. Be honest. Who do you speak with most each week? After you meet them, are you clearer or more confused? Stronger or weaker? Do you leave with ideas or only anger? Do you leave with plans or only blame? Look at your last 5 conversations. Count how many were about building. Count how many were about complaining. The number tells the truth. So what do you do if your circle is weak? First, reduce the time you spend in complaint rooms. You do not need to announce it. Just step back. Less lunch. Less late-night chat. Less useless talk. Then add stronger voices to your life. This can be through books, classes, good podcasts, one serious friend, one mentor, one study partner. A strong voice can reach you even if it is not sitting in your house. Finally, become a builder in conversation. Ask better questions. Say, what can we do? Say, what is the next step? Say, how can I improve this? Sometimes your words can change the room, and if they cannot, that tells you something important too. You cannot build a clean future in a dirty mental room. Now we move to another daily habit, and this one is dangerous because many people think it is normal, refusing to read. Some people leave school and also leave learning. They act like education ends with a building. They act like growth has a finish line. They stop reading, stop studying, stop asking, stop improving. Then they wonder why life becomes smaller. My friend, school can end. Learning must not. A poor mindset says, I already know enough. A strong mindset says, I need better tools. Reading is one of the cheapest ways to borrow a stronger mind. For the price of one meal, sometimes less, you can sit with years of experience. You can learn from failure without paying the full price of failure yourself. You can sharpen your language. You can improve your thinking. You can see your own life with more clarity. And this is not only about money books. Read about habits. Read about health. Read about communication. Read about history. Read stories. Read language books. Read anything that makes your mind less lazy and more exact. Nina finished school at 19 and never touched a book again. She said reading was boring. She said real life was the best teacher. But what she meant was this. She did not want the effort of quiet attention. Years passed. Her speaking stayed vague. Her writing stayed weak. Her ideas stayed small. When life changed, she had very few mental tools. She felt trapped, not only because of money, but because of language. She could feel problems, but she could not explain them clearly. She wanted change, but her thinking had no depth. Then her cousin gave her a simple book about personal finance and another about communication. She resisted. Then one night she read 10 pages, just 10. The next night, 10 more. Slowly, her sentences changed. Her questions changed. Her choices changed. Not magic, not fast, but real. That is the power of reading. It gives structure to the mind. People say, I do not have time to read. Often that means I give my time to easier things. Hours go to scrolling. Hours go to gossip. Hours go to empty video after empty video. But 20 minutes with a good book feels hard, so they avoid it. Truth is simple. What is easy now often makes life hard later. What is hard now often makes life easier later. Reading is a perfect example. And yes, audio can help. Good videos can help. Listening can help. The reading forces a different kind of focus. It slows you down. It makes you meet words directly. It builds patience. It builds depth. It builds memory. For English learners, this matters even more. Reading gives you vocabulary again and again. It shows sentence patterns. It helps you notice how ideas connect. It improves your listening because your mind becomes more familiar with real structures. So when you read, you are not only growing in life, you are growing in English too. Now, let's practice English. Today we will use simple words from this lesson. Complain. Complain means to speak again and again about something bad, often without trying to fix it. Example. He likes to complain about his job, but he never learns new skills. Excuse. An excuse is a reason people use to avoid action or responsibility. Example. I am too tired can be a real problem, but sometimes it is only an excuse. Influence. Influence is the power to affect how someone thinks or acts. Example. Your friends have influence on your habits. Discipline. Discipline means doing what is needed, even when you do not feel like doing it. Example. She used discipline to study English every morning. Asset. An asset is something useful that helps you grow or gives value over time. Example. Good communication is an asset in work and life. Victim. A victim is a person who suffers harm. But in mindset talk, acting like a victim means believing you have no power at all. Example. He always talks like a victim and never takes action. Comfort. Comfort is an easy, pleasant feeling with little pain or difficulty. Example. Too much comfort can stop growth. Growth. Growth means improvement over time. Example. Reading a little every day can lead to real growth. Repeat after me. I will complain less and build more. Excuses feel safe, but action changes life. My circle has influence on my future. Discipline today creates freedom tomorrow. Reading is a small habit with big growth. Now write one sentence in the comments using the word discipline or growth. Keep it simple. Keep it honest. And now we return to the hard truth. A person who refuses to read often refuses to change. Because reading asks for silence. Reading asks for focus. Reading asks you to admit that you do not know everything. Ego does not like that. Lazy thinking does not like that. The poor mindset wants entertainment, not correction. But correction is where growth begins. Stop. Be honest. When was the last time you finished one useful book? Not bought, finished. Not saved for later. Finished. Check your phone screen time from the last 7 days. Now compare it to your reading time. There is your answer. There is your pattern. There is your future if you do not change it. So let us make reading real. First, lower the entry point. Read 5 pages a day. That is enough to begin. Small is fine. Small beats never. Then keep one useful book near your bed, your desk, or your bag. Make reading easy to start. Friction kills good habits. Finally, read with a pen or with notes. Underline one sentence. Write one lesson. Tell one friend. Turn reading into action, or it becomes another form of consumption. That is the rule again. Input must become output. In the next part, we go deeper into blame, pain, and responsibility. This is where many adults stay stuck for years. They say life happened to them, so now they can do nothing. It sounds fair. It sounds emotional, but it can destroy a human life. They say life happened to them, so now they can do nothing. That is where we continue, my friend. This next habit is heavy. It is emotional. It touches real pain. So we must be careful and honest at the same time, acting like a victim. Let us begin with truth. Some people are victims in real life. Some people were hurt deeply. Some people were abandoned, lied to, abused, ignored, used, or blocked by unfair systems. That pain is real. We do not laugh at pain. We do not deny pain. But there is a second truth. Pain is real. Power is also real. And many people lose their future because they hold only the first truth and forget the second. A victim mindset is not simply having wounds. It is building your whole identity around the belief that you can do nothing now. It is blaming your parents, your boss, your childhood, your economy, your country, your age, your past, your bad luck, again and again, until responsibility disappears. This mindset feels safe. Why? Because if everything is someone else's fault, then you never have to change. You never have to risk failure. You never have to test your own strength. You can stay in explanation forever, but explanation is not healing. Explanation is not progress. Explanation is not a new life. Daniel said his life was broken because his father left when he was young. That wound was real. Then he said school failed him. Then he said his city had no good chances. Then he said the economy was bad. Then he said every boss was unfair. In every story, he was only the person things happened to, never the person who could respond. Years passed like that. He was not lazy all the time. That is important. Many people with a victim mindset still work hard in short moments. They feel anger. They make plans. They speak with force, but they do not stay with responsibility long enough to build change. Their energy goes into blame, not structure. Then Daniel met an older man at work named Robert. Robert did not speak much. One day, Daniel started complaining again. The same story, the same blame. Robert listened and then said something simple. Maybe all that is true. Now what are you going to do? Daniel was angry. He wanted comfort. He wanted agreement. He wanted someone to say, yes, the world ruined you. Instead, he got a door. Now what are you going to do? That question is hard because it gives pain no throne. It respects the wound, but it refuses to worship it. My friend, your past may explain you, but it must never become your excuse to destroy your future. This is where many people get confused. They think responsibility means saying the bad thing was okay. No. Responsibility is not approval. Responsibility is not denial. Responsibility is not denial. Responsibility is not pretending life was fair. Responsibility means this. From this point forward, my response belongs to me. That is strength. Poor thinking says, I had no chance. Strong thinking says, my chances may be small, but I will use them. Poor thinking says, nobody helped me. Strong thinking says, then I will become the kind of person who can help myself first. Poor thinking says, it is too late. Strong thinking says, late is still better than never. Do you see it? The facts may not change, but the direction changes. Stop. Be honest. What story do you repeat most often about why your life is hard? Say it clearly. Write it down if you need to. Now ask the next question. Does this story help me act? or help me hide? Does it create movement, or does it create emotional permission to stay the same? Check your language for 1 week. Count how many times you say, because of them, and how many times you say, my next step is. That count will show you who is leading your life. Now, let us make this practical. First, keep your pain factual. Do not make it your whole identity. Say, this happened to me. Do not say, this is all I am. Then build one response habit, not 10. 1. Wake up on time. Save a small amount. Walk every day. Read 10 pages. Study English for 15 minutes. Tiny responsibility is still responsibility. Finally, stop waiting for emotional permission. Many adults wait to feel healed before they act. Healing often grows during action, not before it. Movement can become medicine. Nobody is coming to save you. That sentence is not cruel. It is freeing. Because the moment you stop waiting for rescue, you can begin building. And now we move to the 8th habit, choosing comfort over growth. This habit looks soft. It looks harmless. But it ruins years. Comfort says, rest now. Growth says, build now. Comfort says, this is enough. Growth says, there is more in you. Comfort says, avoid the hard thing. Growth says, the hard thing may save your future. Many people choose what feels easy today and then feel shocked when life becomes hard tomorrow. But tomorrow was built by today. That is the rule. A man sleeps late, skips exercise, avoids difficult conversations, eats what is easy, spends what he has, watches instead of works, delays instead of starts, stays where he is praised instead of where he is challenged. Day by day, this feels normal, even pleasant. Then 5 years pass. Now his body is weak, his money is thin, his confidence is low, his options are few. And he says, how did this happen? It happened quietly. It happened daily. It happened through comfort. Comfort is dangerous because it rarely looks like a disaster in the beginning. It looks like one more easy night, one more skipped session, one more delay, one more excuse, one more soft choice. But small soft choices compound. So do small strong choices. Lena worked in a stable office job. Safe, familiar. But she wanted more. She wanted to improve her English and move into international sales. She had 2 paths. The comfort path was simple. Go home, eat, scroll, sleep, repeat. The growth path was harder. 1 hour of English practice, 1 hour of sales study, less entertainment, more discomfort. At first, the growth path felt slow. No applause, no sudden reward, just effort. But a full 6 months, her speaking improved. After 9 months, she could join larger meetings. After 1 year, she applied for a better role. She was nervous. She was not perfect, but she was ready enough because she had lived in growth, not comfort. This is the truth many people resist. Growth is usually boring before it becomes beautiful. You do not always feel strong while building strength. You do not always feel rich while building wealth. You do not always feel confident while building skill. That is why discipline matters more than mood. And comfort is not evil by itself. Rest matters. Peace matters. Sleep matters. Sleep matters. Joy matters. But comfort becomes poison when it becomes your ruler. A tool is good. A master is dangerous. You must decide who leads your life. Temporary ease or long-term strength? Stop. Be honest. What are you choosing every day because it feels good now, but costs you later? Check your body. Check your spending. Check your screen time. Check your screen time. Check your unfinished goals. Check your fear of hard conversations. Where is comfort eating your future? That answer matters more than your big dreams. So here is the way forward. First, choose one daily discomfort on purpose. Wake up earlier. Take a walk without your phone. Study when you want to scroll. Cook instead of ordering. Speak English out loud even when you feel shy. Train yourself to stop running from useful pain. Then tie discomfort to identity. Do not say, I am trying to be disciplined. Say, I am a disciplined person. Identity shapes behavior, shapes future. Finally, reward growth, not only results. Did you do the hard thing today? Good. Respect that. The result may come later, but the vote for your future happened now. This is how poor habits lose power. One true action at a time. In the next part, we will gather everything together. We will connect all 8 habits. We will look at what they build when left alone, and what a stronger life looks like when you finally stop lying to yourself. We will gather everything now, my friend. Not to make you feel guilty, to make you see clearly, these 8 habits do not live alone. They work together. They build each other. They protect each other. That is why a poor life can feel like a cage. It is not one bad choice. It is a system of bad choices a person watches and never does. Because of that, they feel like growth is happening when nothing is changing. Then they wait for the perfect time, so action stays in the future. Then they dream that money will save them, not seeing that weak habits will burn through any gift. Then they buy liabilities to impress, which creates more pressure, more debt, and less freedom. Then they sit with complainers, and those voices make small action feel useless. Then they refuse to read, so their mind stays dull and narrow. Then they act like a victim, so responsibility disappears. Then they choose comfort over growth, so the next day looks exactly like the last one. Do you see the loop? One weak habit feeds the next. One lie protects the next. One escape opens the door to another escape. That is why many people stay stuck for years. Not because change is impossible, because self-deception is powerful. They say, I am learning, but they are only watching. They say, I am preparing, but they are only delaying. They say, I need more money, but they do not yet know how to hold money. They say, I deserve nice things, but they are buying chains and calling them gifts. They say, my friends are just being real, but those friends are training them to stay small. They say, I do not like reading, but what they really hate is slow effort. They say, life did this to me, but they never ask what they will do now. They say, I need rest, but what they choose is comfort without direction. The lie changes clothes, but it is still the lie. Now let us imagine 2 people. Both start in the same place. Both feel fear. Both have average income. Both have some pain from the past. Both want more. The first person keeps these 8 habits, not in a dramatic way, in a normal way. That is what makes it dangerous. They consume every day, delay every day, spend emotionally, stay around weak talk, avoid books, protect blame, choose easy pleasure. After 1 year, their life may look almost the same. After 5 years, the cost becomes obvious. Less money, less skill, less confidence, more debt, more resentment, more hidden shame. The second person is not special, not a genius, not lucky every day. But this person starts replacing the habits. They watch less and do more. They begin before they feel ready. They build rules for money before more money arrives. They stop buying image. They protect their circle. They read a little daily. They carry pain without making it a throne. They choose useful discomfort. After 1 week, they still look ordinary. After 1 month, they still feel messy. After 6 months, they have more evidence. After 1 year, their posture changes. After 5 years, they look like a different human being. That is how compounding works. It is slow in the beginning. It is quiet in the beginning. It is often invisible in the beginning, but it is real. Many people fail because they do not respect small daily direction. They only respect dramatic moments. They think life changes with one big chance, one rich friend, one perfect job, one lucky event. Sometimes big moments help. Yes, but daily direction matters more. A poor life is often the result of repeated soft choices. A strong life is often the result of repeated hard choices. This is not about becoming cold. It is not about becoming obsessed with money. It is not about acting better than others. Financial stoicism is simpler than that. It means you stop letting emotion rule every choice. You create rules. You protect your future. You do not spend to impress. You do not speak to complain. You do not wait for rescue. You do not worship comfort. You become quieter, clearer, more useful. That kind of person becomes dangerous in the best way, because when life gets hard, they do not collapse quickly. When money comes, they do not waste it quickly. When fear appears, they do not obey it quickly. When others complain, they do not join automatically. They have inner structure. An inner structure is worth more than loud confidence. Stop. Be honest. Which of these 8 habits is strongest in your life right now? Not the easiest one to admit. The real one. The one costing you money, time, respect, or peace. Name it. One habit. One enemy. Do not hide in big theory. Truth must become specific. Now ask a second question. What is the opposite action? If your problem is watching, the opposite is making. If your problem is waiting, the opposite is starting. If your problem is leaking money, the opposite is rules. If your problem is liabilities, the opposite is restraint. If your problem is weak people, the opposite is better influence. If your problem is refusing to read, the opposite is 10 pages. If your problem is victim thinking, the opposite is one responsible act. If your problem is comfort, the opposite is one chosen discomfort. This is how change becomes practical. You do not fight a fog with emotion. You fight it with a clear opposite move. And remember this. Your current life is not only a result, it is also a teacher. It is showing you your pattern. Your bank account teaches. Your body teaches. Your room teaches. Your calendar teaches. Your habits teach. Your habits teach. They are talking all the time. The question is not whether your life is speaking. The question is whether you will listen. In the final part, we will close with a promise, not a fantasy. A promise built on truth. We will turn these lessons into a personal decision, because information alone does not save anyone. Decision matters. Repetition matters. Repetition matters. Identity matters. My friend, now it becomes personal. You heard the 8 habits. You saw the loop. You saw the lie. Now there is only one serious question left. What kind of person will you be after this video ends? Not what kind of person you admire. Not what kind of person you imagine. What kind of person will you be in the next real hour of your real life? Because truth is simple. A strong life is not built by understanding everything. It is built by doing the next right thing again and again. Maybe you saw yourself in more than one habit. That is okay. Many people do. Maybe you felt shame. Let that shame become sight, not prison. Let it wake you up. Do not use it to hate yourself. Use it to stop lying to yourself. You do not need a new fantasy. You need a new pattern. Watch less. Do more. Wait less. Start now. Worship money less. Respect rules more. Buy less to impress. Build more in silence. Sit less with complainers. Sit more with builders. Read more. Scroll less. Blame less. Respond more. Choose less comfort. Choose more growth. This is the path, and it is not glamorous. Some days it will feel slow. Some days nobody will notice. Some days your old self will call you back. The lazy self. The scared self. The soft self. It will say, tomorrow. It will say, relax. It will say, you deserve a break. It will say, this small action does not matter. Do not believe that voice. Small actions matter most when they are repeated. That is how debt grows. That is how savings grow. That is how weak lives grow. That is how strong lives grow. So make one vow today. One real vow. Not 10. 1. I will read 10 pages a day. I will stop buying things on impulse. I will study English for 15 minutes every morning. I will speak less with complainers. I will wake up when I said I would. Choose one and protect it, because when you protect one promise to yourself, something beautiful begins. Self-respect returns. And when self-respect returns, discipline becomes easier. And when discipline becomes easier, life becomes clearer. English Story Studio is not here to help you consume more and do nothing. English Story Studio is here to help you become a builder, not a drifter, not a victim, not a performer, a builder. So if this truth hit you, write one action in the comments, one action only. Then subscribe and come back to train again. Not just your English, your life, your identity, your future. From this day, move from consuming to creating. Move from drifting to building. Move from excuses to rules. Move from comfort to growth. That is the real wealth.